Okay, we are live. We're live and my microphone is in front of me. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sandy Vasher. I am one of the Word Stitch girls. And this is Rise and Write. See my little banner at the bottom? Normally, this is Rise and Write with Chloe and friends. I'm friends. Or whoever is available to host at the time with her. Chloe is going to be here shortly, but I believe she is rebooting her computer. So you've got me for just a couple of minutes here alone. And it is NaNoWriMo. So we are 6 days in, almost a full week. So at this point, let's see, how far should you be along by the end of the day to be on track? So with a 1,667 word count, you should be at 8,335 already today. And then by the end of the day, you should be hitting 10,000. So this is your day to hit that mark if you are on schedule. Good morning, Ayanya. Thanks for joining us. Am I saying that right? Ayani? Let me know if the pronunciation is right. I always like to check that and I'll hopefully remember. We'll see. So I don't know about you guys, but so I'm caught up right now. However, I have had many years when I have not been caught up at this point. And I think I've mentioned in previous word sprints, for me, the trick to finishing Nano is actually always to get that 1,667 in. If I am not hitting that every day, it's much, much harder for me. However, in the years when I haven't hit 1667, like early on, at this point, you can still catch up, right? So like you could just have a really productive weekend, get a lot of words in, and then get back on that schedule for next week. So hopefully you're here to get in some words today, or, do whatever writerly things you're doing. I don't have a specific project this time. I have like multiple little projects I'm trying to finish. So that's where I am. Good morning, Elizabeth. Thanks for joining us. We're going to get to our first writing sprint at 8:05. I have like a little theme this morning, and I've been thinking maybe I should like make it a guessing game, see if you guys can figure out what the theme is. It might be super, super obvious, but I felt that my prompts needed some inspiration other than current events. So I have prompts that are not related to current events this morning. And hopefully that will inspire you, or you'll ignore them and write whatever you want, and whatever is fine. I'm pronouncing it fine. Good. Ayani, is that right? Is the J? So I asked Ayani if I'm pronouncing that right. So the question is so she wrote AJANEY. Is the J, is that like a hard J? Is that the right way to say it? Is it Ayani or Ayane? Hopefully I'm just getting close. Thank you for the pronunciation guide, though. I appreciate that. So let us know what you're working on. I'm really close to the end of my first of like these little projects, and this is a romance arc for a novella called They Ate Cake. So like I'm fairly close, and I need to get them to the actual cake fairly soon. And that's exciting. And also, like, I don't know about you guys, but I get to a point in the story where I'm like, oh shoot, like I should probably have done a little more plotting up until now. And that's like the pantser problem, right? Is when you're just sort of like writing really fast, you can kind of ramble and then end up having to delete a decent amount of words. So I'm hoping I can actually like get in some real plot today. And thank you, Ayani. I think we have that figured out then. And hey, there's Chloe, right in time for our first word sprint. I'm gonna try to add her to the screen. I don't see a picture yet. Chloe, I added you in, but I don't see you yet. And it is time to start our first sprint. So I think I'm going to use, oh, you're there. Do you have a timer set up?
I do. Just a second. It was loading.
Good for you.
Yeah, my computer is sick, I think.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because I thought the reason that it was waking up in the middle of the night was because of the mouse, and I turned the mouse off last night, and it still woke up. So
Uh-oh.
I had to I shut it down completely, and it took like 20 minutes to reboot, which I mean, you know how computers are, the older they get, the longer they take, but yeah. Also, I am very sleepy, but I think
But you're here.
yeah. And it was I was up all night last night between the computer and the election, and I'm feeling okay about one of them right now.
All right. Well, hopefully a few minutes of writing will help you a little bit.
Yeah.
This could be
Yeah.
helpful.
That's exactly what's happening in the next 10 minutes for me. You guys should all be writing hard though. We will see you guys in 10 minutes. All right, we are back. I did nothing. I mean, I did stuff. I just never got two words, but I did stuff. What did you do, Sandy?
2:44.
Excellent.
Dog barking in the background as per tradition.
Yep.
Um,
Ring at us in the background per tradition.
Hey, come on, little dog. It's a little early for that. Come on. Upstairs. Come here. Sorry.
Okay.
Grouchy here is. You show everybody how grouchy you are. Yeah. What was I saying? I got to 2:44. Did I say that? I probably did. My brain feels a little.
You did. It's okay. I said I got 0.
How'd everybody else do? How are we at today? Elizabeth had to pop away.
Sandy, how far are you in this project? Like, about how far through the story are you?
That is a very good question. I am 23,925 words into what's supposed to be a 30,000 arc. But
no.
Well, yeah, right. So like I'm only maybe 60% into the story. So I either have to decide that I've written enough of the story, right? Or like I've got to make the story longer, and I really don't want to make the story longer. It's supposed to be a novella. And thank you, Ayane. I think I may have said that almost right, Ayane. I think she's cute too, even when she's a little killer. Oh, are we a killer? Are we a killer? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, we are. We are. Oh. So yeah. So I've got
Mother just got some little dog. I don't. My parents are 70 years old.
And they just got a little dog?
They just got some little dog, which means I'm going to inherit some little dog in like 15 years. And I'm going to be real mad about it.
I mean, little dogs have a lifespan of about 15 years. So,
well, they live a lot longer than big dogs. Can't they get up to like 20? I thought little dogs can get up to like 20.
Yeah, they can, but they also have a lot of little problems. Like ours is 10, and we hope that she's with us for a very long time, but she has a heart murmur and arthritis and a collapsing trachea, and the collapsing trachea is almost for sure she barked her way to that.
She did it to herself.
But yeah, no, I mean, like, the thing about little dogs, though, of course, is like you end up treating them like they're little babies. So like if she has anything wrong, I take her to the vet, right? Like, and so she has like a cardiologist and like an actual vet and like a whole list of medications that she takes. And I get real upset when like we don't have the right medications. But back to Nano and the plotting problem. I've been thinking about this. I feel like this is something people encounter right about now in their stories. Like you, if you're writing a short story, you get to this like, oh shoot, I'm dragging this out way too much point, right? And if you're writing a longer story, I feel like you get to your 10,000 words, and that's when your plot has to start solidifying. Right? Like if it hasn't, if you don't know what you're doing at that point, like this is actually the time when I feel like you have to sit down and maybe do a little outlining, even if you're not an outliner, or risk spending the entire month writing words you can't use.
Yes, which I have absolutely done that like many times. My first book that I finished, I wrote that over like 4 consecutive nanos. And the book is like 80,000 words long. Um, and obviously, like, I was working on it in between. I might have been jumping to other things and then picking that up again and like gutting that 50,000 and salvaging like 10,000 of it and picking it up again.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And you do the thing that I do. Maybe you might do it a little worse than I do, where like you'll be like, this was supposed to be one scene, and then it's like three.
Oh, yeah. I've already had that happen twice in this one. And I'm actually, that is something that is concerning me a little bit with this one because I like the heavy action scenes. There are exactly 2, and they are the exact same 2 in almost every one of these books. So I have to be like careful with how I pace them. And instead, I have them where the first one isn't until, I mean, at this point, if I keep going at the pace that I'm going at, the first big fight scene isn't until like 65% through. And then like all of the action happens after that. So if I can't, like, I have to bulk this up on the back end too. And that is something, again, where I don't like to say that I am a plotter. Because I really, I feel like there's a big difference between outlining and going that full stop to like, you know, detailing every little thing before you write it. But yeah, so I don't know. Like at this point, I really can't force myself to make this, the second half of it, longer or shorter than it's going to be. Yeah.
No, these are they're such tricky problems too, right? Like, so since mine is a novella arc, like one of the things I can't do is bulk it up too much, right? So like I can't bulk something up on the back end or the front end. I need it to be like kind of tight.
Yeah.
But then like, and in a novella, like you don't have as many opportunities to create conflict because the whole thing is supposed to be like 20 to 30,000 words.
Exactly.
I don't want those to be empty words. Okay. So I have another prompt. I told people this morning I'm theming this, and I don't know if anybody will. It's theme. I'm not going to tell you the theme. You can guess the theme. It's not current events.
That's good. My characters are on a spaceship. There are no animals.
Substitute for your friend. It'll be fine.
No animal friends. Okay. We'll see you guys in 15 minutes.
Okay.
I did get a bit of writing done. Let me finish this sentence because it was awkward where it was, and I probably would have left it. It would have sounded like I was killing people as opposed to just people not being able to breathe underwater.
That's not good. Yes, you should fix that.
It was sitting at few of them could breathe. No, few of them could breathe underwater.
Yeah.
They're okay. I have no idea how many words I wrote. See if I can base it off of. I think I got about 300 there. I did catch up yesterday.
Yay.
So that was exciting. But I feel bad that I didn't do more writing. Because I hit, well, no, I guess I wrote about as long as I could have. I wrote until like 9. And then instead of continuing to write or going to bed, I watched part of Avengers Endgame. I'm not even like a big MCU person. I just saw a meme. It was literally you've seen it before, right?
The meme or the
Oh
no,
the
we're
movie.
so far behind with the Avengers.
So I'm just gonna do real basics on it. There is the very end scene, the final battle, the last hurrah of everything. There's only a handful of people on our side there, and they are losing horribly. And then all of a sudden, everybody shows up, and like not just the Avengers, but like all of the Wakanda warriors, and just like waves and waves and waves of people to join in on the fight. Like the Valkyries are there. It's nuts. There's a whole like woman power thing that happens in it that is kind of spoiled, but that's okay. There's still that like one shot where like all of the women are in the frame together. I'm like, yay. But so it's one of those scenes where like all is lost, and then bam, everybody just shows up, and it starts like with Wakanda with Black Panther and his two the two women, I can't recall their names, but and then it just like builds from there. And so I saw a meme yesterday that was the beginning of that clip where everybody is suddenly showing up, and the caption on it is absentee ballots. And I saw that, and I was like, you know what? I really do like need to watch these damn movies again, and I probably should have started with Infinity War. But then I feel like I didn't need to, actually. Like, it probably would have been smarter if I started with Infinity War just to, like, get the basis for Endgame. But I was like, I don't think I actually need any of that. They failed. We know this. Everybody is sad because they failed.
I don't know this, but it doesn't mean anything to me anyway because I haven't watched. We had a problem with this because we started way back with Iron Man and such,
Mm-hmm.
we tried to do that, and then there's a Hulk in there, and the Hulk
but it's horrible.
Yeah, so we couldn't get past Hulk. Like Hulk was just like so, I don't know.
So I'm gonna tell you what I did, and I don't know if it'll help any for you, but it did for me. I watched Iron Man. I probably watched 2 or 3 of the early ones. Not Iron Man 2, but whatever the other ones that were coming out at around that time where I don't remember what they were now. I feel like I probably saw the Avengers. Maybe it was Hulk, but again, Hulk was weird anyways because it's a different actor.
Weird.
Yeah, because Mark Ruffalo is the one who plays the Hulk in the actual series, but the Hulk movie is oh god, what's his name? From Fight Club and Death to Smoochie, and
I'm really bad with actor names, like really bad.
He's crazy, and they wouldn't work with him again. Anyways, doesn't matter. Anyways, I didn't really care for them. Like, I'm not a superhero person to begin with. That's not normally my jam. I grew up as I say I'm not a superhero person, but I grew up with X-Men, and X-Men was always my baby. X-Men, and then like the Japanese stuff. And so like most of the American stuff just didn't I was never big into like Batman or Superman or anything like that. So I just didn't watch it for a really long time. And then when Doctor Strange came out, they watched it at the house. And I watched Doctor Strange. I didn't even realize that it was like part of this whole franchise, but I really liked it. And then I think after that, oh yeah. So I really liked it, but I was like, well, I'm not going to get into this stuff yet. And then when Black Panther came out, that was when Ken was running out of patience with Cindy. And Cindy wanted to go to the movie with him, but wanted him to wait until she got back. Like she was out of town for the weekend. I was like, Ken, I'll just go see the stupid movie with you. So you don't have to go see it with Cindy. And we did, and I really enjoyed that one. And then I believe I also saw, Ant-Man. Ant-Man is really good. So I recommend all three of those movies, and you don't need all of the other movies to get into them. And then from that point, I think I saw Infinity War, and then I went back and watched everything else. Because by Infinity War, I was like, okay, now I need to know who all of these people are. So I went back and watched it. I never got into Iron Man, but again, it wasn't something that was going to be my thing. I didn't really care for Avengers, but again, it was not my thing. Same for Captain America. I've never liked Captain America. So those I watched and I was like, well, I got my base. That's okay. But, and then I don't know, I feel like I'm just like discounting every single thing now. It's funny because like the Iron Man that I did like is the one that all the other people hated. I liked the Spider-Mans. And
there's so many to like.
There are so many of them. And Guardians of the Galaxy, I might have liked if it hadn't been so hyped up to me. I'm not sure, but the problem with Guardians of the Galaxy for me is there's not a straight man in it. It's not like if you watch Ant-Man, it's really funny because Paul Rudd is this straight man. So everything going on around him is complete insanity, but he is the anchor that's like, what the hell is going on the entire time? Whereas in Guardians of the Galaxy, nobody has that role. Like, there will be somebody in that role in each scene, but it's a different person, and I didn't like it.
We did watch Guardians of the Galaxy, not having any idea that it was like part of this whole universe.
Oh,
and I don't think it was hyped up to either me or Malcolm, and we loved it and loved Guardians.
Yeah, I feel like if it wasn't hyped up to me, I would not have expected so much out of it. Well, that's the problem with the others. In the entire damn franchise is the one that has the super mega permanent death at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2. That like there is such a long funeral sequence that he is never coming back. And I'm like, you were the only person I cared about this whole franchise.
Oh, okay, I remember this, but he was like a side character, wasn't he? Kind of.
He was, and I loved him. I wanted him to like get his own movie out at the end of it, and then he just died.
He was character development for the other guys. Okay, that's all right. I understand you're sad about it. We should get to our next sprint.
Should.
I've got another prompt. All right.
Oh, I accidentally have 2 timers running. Oops, there we go. I was wondering why it was asking me which timer I wanted. Okay. So we are going to go for 15 again. It is about 10 up, so we will see you guys at about 5 after.
Oh, sorry, Chloe. I think I
There we go.
messed up the mute
It's
for you.
okay. It's a game we play.
Yes. Hi, Binary. Thanks for joining us. I got like nothing done that time because I got caught looking at a Rocket Book ad on Amazon, and now I'm just a mess because there's this new thing, and it's
Do they finally have feminine colors, or is it still the bullshit of we don't know when we're going to get to make any new colors, but here's orange.
Oh, I love the orange. They have a teal.
Like the teal they've always had? That like weird
what color are you looking for? Are you looking for like a pink?
I want like pink or purple. I want a girl color.
Okay, so I have no problem with their colors. What I'm always thinking is like, oh, which one of these fantastic colors should I pick? So it doesn't occur to me that there aren't girl colors, right? Like I
actually messaged them once about it and was like, hey, I really love your products, but they don't fit my aesthetic. Are you going to be doing any like pastels, I believe is what I said, to be gentle about it? And they were like, well, we're working on it, but we can't, we're a small company, so we're working on it as best we can, but like we gotta focus on the product, and then we'll start worrying about the colors after that. And then like 2 months later, they released orange and the grayer gray.
So I think that the trouble is they have to ask themselves what the market is most likely to buy, and they're almost for sure limited in what they can order by like the manufacturers of the book, right? Like
sure. But they've got, I think they're up to like 8 masculine colors and not a single feminine color.
Is they're up to 8 colors that Chloe doesn't like.
They're all, you cannot say that they are not all masculine to unisex, and there's not a single feminine color there. That's okay. It's okay. I'm not calling you out for not liking feminine colors or being happy with these. You're also a former lawyer.
Maybe the idea of a feminine color is mildly outdated. I don't know. I feel like that orange is totally feminine, or at least it's, I don't know, it makes me happy. So does the teal, so does the navy, so does the gray. Why can't those be? Well, that's your problem, right? You don't pastel notebooks, right? And they're not targeting an audience that's looking for pastels. They're targeting a business audience. So like it's not that they're not feminine, it's that they're looking for lawyers and like,
and they're completely ignoring creatives.
Because they're assuming that creatives are not going to be as interested in this as like business people.
And I don't think that's true. Oh, but they do have the like coloring book one.
Yeah. I love your problem with Rocket Book is the colors.
Like I get where you're coming from, but I don't think I'm wrong in saying that they are completely writing off a market.
I think here's what I think is happening. I think you're not thinking about it from like their business perspective. Like they probably have a limited number of resources and a limited number of things they can invest in at once. So I'm sure there's a lot of analysis going into like who's likely to buy these books. And then they probably pick the colors based on the market that's most likely to buy the books, So it's not that like I can't imagine they're like, oh, let's just write off the creatives.
I agree with you to a point on that, but the fact is they have so many colors in their line now. It was one thing when it was 4 colors in their line, but now they're up to like 6 or 8 colors in their line. So they obviously think that people care about colors, but yeah.
I don't know. You know what? This is my perspective on this is different because I did
about somebody's aesthetic. They think that the people who are buying this actually worry about aesthetic so much that they needed more than black, red, and that weird off teal color. But they don't care about people who are more likely to care about aesthetic, and that is women.
They're assuming that their market is looking for the colors that they currently have, and that's probably based on some studies. It doesn't matter. The point is you're not happy with their colors. And they're neglecting you. And that is so not cool.
And they're neglecting a huge market of people who don't want these really drab colors.
You know what? Since I did so much negotiation training with like people who do like negotiations with manufacturers, I think one of the perspectives I come at this from is like they've got to negotiate with that like factory in wherever that's producing this. So like it's very possible that whoever their manufacturer is can easily produce an orange notebook because their dyes are a particular like line, but they can't easily produce a pastel because a pastel would require a different dye, which might require an entirely different investment on their part. So like I'm looking at this from like they have a lot of
that is the one really valid argument that you've given here. I mean, I support that argument. If it comes down to the fact that they literally just don't have the resources where they're getting these from, then that is totally fair.
I think that's related to the market research though, right? They probably have market research and they probably picked a line. Like they probably decided based on.
To me, I'm thinking of consumer research and not of manufacturing research.
And I'm thinking about what they're more likely to sell.
So like, you are thinking of consumer research.
Well, it's a combo, right? Like we have to look both at like what's the cost of producing this and also like who can we supply it to? So they're probably saying like, do we have like, can we invest in this particular line of colors? Like, would that investment give us a return that's high enough to make the investment worthwhile? And that's probably based both on like, how hard is it to get the manufacturer to like do a pastel line and how many people do they think are likely to buy pastels? So it's not that I think that like, I mean, yeah, sure. Like they have a market that they haven't been able to hit yet, but that it could be totally valid from their perspective because they may just not have the money right now to invest in every line. And that might be the market that they think is smaller. So they're, you know, so, and that's probably based on market research.
So like I was there with all of that, not with you, but like with their timeline. And what they had was black, red, blue, and that weird off teal color. It was when they put out the orange and gray. And then I think they've got something else now too, that I was like, why put out these colors? Like what? How many people who would not have bought it unless it was gray or orange?
Yeah.
But there. Like, I don't see how those colors expanded their market in any way.
I totally just like put the orange one in my shopping cart because I love that particular
color. You already own it.
Teal. What?
But you already own it.
The orange?
No, but you already have the product.
Yeah, but
you're not in the market. I mean, it's good that you're buying more stuff, but
no. That's bad logic. In a business, your repeat customer is way more important than your new customer. Like those people come back over and over again. So like, and it's far easier to keep them. They want to appeal to me because I'm like,
did you buy an orange one that's identical other than the color than from their other line?
I'm looking at it.
Buy like their new planner or something like that.
It's like one of the planner types that
would you not have bought that product if it was coming in the same colors that the other ones already are.
I don't know, but
at this point, I will not buy another one of their products until it's in a color that I actually like.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to please everybody, but again, like we're still you're upset about the orange, but you're not thinking about how the orange is a shade that's like a dark color. So probably if you already have a red notebook and you're using these like dark dye lots, then you have a yellow. So it's not hard to.
Oh, yeah, no. I totally see where you're going with that. I just don't see where it was even necessary to bring that color out, where it would have been worthwhile for them to run a whole production line in a color very similar to a color they already have.
You would be dying in supply chain. Dying. Like,
I mean, probably I would.
so upset. You'd be like, I don't understand. We're neglecting this like beautiful creative market. And like,
No. That's not what I'm saying at all. Again, I said there's no point in bringing out more colors that are only hitting the exact same market that the pre-existing colors were.
no. But again, like they could absolutely have done research on that. It could have been like, oh, like here are some people who would, I mean, just because I might have, I mean, I'm not their only person, right? Like they
No, I do have a fairly good background in color theory.
from an art perspective, not necessarily from like a supply chain perspective.
No. But I'm saying that I don't feel like there is a huge difference in the market between black, red, blue, and an offshade of teal, and the market that goes for orange and gray.
I don't know. I will also tell you I've got a gray planner in my cart right now because I really like the gray planner better than the black, or the cover better than the black cover. And I probably wouldn't buy it if it weren't gray. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm more their target audience than you are. Like maybe they're making me really happy. And the question is, are there more of me?
Maybe I could be their target market if they cared to look into this market.
But they only care to look into it if they think that I'm less likely to be the pop. This is a very boring argument for anybody watching. That's right. That's right.
All right. There we go. We're gonna write for the next 15 minutes. It is 16 past, so we're gonna write until 31 past.
Okay, we're back. I got nothing done because I spent that entire time looking at the Panda Planner, and then I was on Amazon, and so now I'm.
Panda Planner is a great company.
Panda Planner looks awesome. I actually,
Yeah.
I think that falls under the category of stuff I should never buy because I feel like I could get too caught up in it. They have this like fusion thing that's a little less ambitious. I think that might be more my style. Hopefully you got writing done and that you didn't just spend that entire
Not really.
time. No.
Not really. I pulled up that product line and got even
More upset.
angrier at the fact that it's literally a single color palette there. Like there's the only thing that is outside of the color palette is that off teal. And honestly, when you actually look at it, oh no, you can't tell the color in my lighting, but that off teal actually fits a lot better in that color palette when you see it in person than when you do on a computer screen.
You're so angry at them for this. There's such
Again, because it is such an extensive palette that is a single palette. Like Ayane just said, they have even fewer colors at Panda Planner, but they cover more people with it.
I just have nothing for this. I don't think it will actually matter.
No, it won't because neither of us work for Rocket.
No, I mean I don't like there'd be no way for me to like you like I would totally consider having say like an orange and a teal because I think those are both awesome colors and I'm very likely over the next couple of years to buy more than one. And I think that's so unfathomable in your mind that it doesn't even matter, right? Like it does not matter if I like the teal or the orange or if I think there might be a customer base
I think that there is a point where you have stopped expanding your customer base because you are not doing anything to reach a customer base that has already looked at your product and said, this does not fit me. So I don't want this, even though I like the concept. And you said, well, I'm only going to market
existing customers
to existing customers. And I'm just going to hope that existing customers make my product last forever.
I doubt that hope is involved in any of this, but
so why? Okay, so here's my question then. Why does Panda Planner have a bright magenta color?
Let's see, who does Panda Planner work with? The Panda Planner colors are nice, aren't they? Yeah. I mean, they're also made of a different material.
Oh no, I again, but like so, as was pointed out, they have even fewer colors. So why did they stop at that instead of if they had limited materials? Why didn't they just do a whole bajillion in that real limited range?
I really think this logic is all kind of flawed. Like you're assuming that every company works with every palette of colors and every popular market.
No, I'm not. But like at this point, they've got.
You're assuming they can though, right? That like the decisions that Panda Planner makes should be the same.
I feel like there is a point where if you have so many colors in the same palette, then you're actually hurting yourself because then people get indecisive. If they like too many of the colors in the palette, they get indecisive and they don't actually buy anything. Like that's an actual. I know because of all of my years in sales, that is an absolute problem. If you offer too many colors, then that like somebody is happy with, then they end up not buying because it's not the exact color that they want. Like it's an absolute problem in marketing. And I feel like they're hitting that point where because they're not expanding into other palettes, but they keep going for the exact same palette, they're going to hit that.
But I mean, you have no idea, right? Because you don't work for them and you're not in their marketing department. So like, we really have no clue. They could be total idiots, right? It could be that they're absolutely guessing and they have nothing that they're researching. Or they could have massive research and we just have absolutely no idea. We just know that they don't have pastels, right? Like
Well, they
So
also don't, where I was also going to go that you cut me off, is they also don't have purple, where they clearly, if they can
they
make a
could.
burgundy and they can make a blue,
Then
they
why
can
don't
make
they
a
have purple?
purple.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
instead they made a green that's so dark it's almost black, which I do like that green, but it is so dark it's almost black. The thumbnail for it is black on my
Oh, like the
screen.
British racing green color. Yeah. Um, that would be the color that would convince Malcolm to actually buy the notebook. That would make us a
It's a good
Rocket Book
color.
house.
I'm not gonna say that it's not a good color. It is, but again, I'm back to that original argument that every single color there is masculine to unisex, and anybody that favors feminine colors is left out there. Am I wrong about that?
I mean, personally, I feel like I'm a feminine person, and that like my desire to have a teal notebook. I mean,
But
I
that's
can't see
not. This is not a feminine teal at all.
that's it's you. I think okay. I don't think it matters if I think it's feminine or not. I think the point is you're not happy with Rocketbook's selection, and they have lost your business until they create a freaking purple notebook. So Rocketbook, if you're out
Or
there,
a pink, or any shade of pastel,
or
even a
any shade of
white,
pastel, yeah,
even like a stronger jewel tone, I'd be interested in. Yeah, like an actual teal. Like, I'm really not being particular. Like, when I say pink and purple, I'm really not saying it must be pink or purple. There are a lot of colors that I'd be willing to go for, and instead they keep putting things out in the exact same color palette.
it's terrible. Totally terrible. Yeah.
Right. So Jay said he's trans, masc, non-binary. So yes, this is absolutely, these colors are masculine to non-gendered. So absolutely, this is your color palette.
Okay, Jay. I don't know. I think this is the weirdest argument too. I think this is real weird, and I'm really pretty sure it's not even an argument, because I feel like an argument might involve like some.
Sandy's
Well,
also weird about her definition of argument because she's a former lawyer.
oh yeah, this isn't an argument. This is this. Well, this is not a
You
real.
can't use the term argument with her unless, you're in a
Of
courtroom.
course, I think this can't be an argument, because I'm fairly certain this is Chloe having an opinion that's unchangeable. Like, I don't think you can argue here. I think you can just listen.
I mean, by that, you're kind of accusing me there of being wrong. You're
No, I'm just accusing
saying
you
that
of
I
not
have
being
an opinion
open-minded.
that is unchangeable.
Totally different.
Why would I change my opinion if it's right?
Right? Why would you change your opinion if it was right? And I'm dying because there's no, yeah, this is, I mean, there is no, oh yeah, you're right. You're right. This was probably a little worse, a little bit. But okay, all right. We need to be productive. Can we be productive?
We are at that time.
Let's do that. Let's try to do that.
All right, so there we go. Correct screen. We are going for 15 minutes. It is 40 past, so we are going to be rating until 5 of. And yes, Jay, I followed that obsessively when it happened. So I have a lot of feels about RWA, and I hate the fact that I kind of feel like I need to be still in that organization. I'm not, but I feel like I kind of need it, but also I can't, because they're what they are, and it's a catch-22 for me. So yeah, we're going to write for the next 15 minutes. We'll see you guys then.
Okay, we are back.
Yes. And I did get some writing done before Sandy sent me an article on color theory.
In support of your arguments, because I'm getting nothing done today, so clearly...
I am sorry that I ruined your spreads.
I just had no idea this was such an important, passionate issue. I mean, like, wow. I hope if you were with us and you got some stuff done today. We're going to try to talk about writing next time and not
your microphone is...
and not colors and businesses. And oh my God, you guys, we cannot start talking about things like spiral bound and like the way that it opens and the margins, because I bet we both have opinions about that.
I agree. And unfortunately, with how these books are made, they just have to be done that way because of the scanning portion of it. You have to have something that's going to stay completely open. And that isn't going to have a bump in it to scan it. So
I have a flip book now. I really want that one too. Maybe I'll get it in like
flip book.
Like instead of opening like this way, it opens like this way.
Like this, like a big version of this, you mean?
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's fair. Yeah. Like that, I feel like that does fix that problem. Because I do agree that I don't like having to rest my arms over the rings either.
I'm feeling so impressed at us for being able to talk about Rocketbook colors and notebook problems for like 2 hours. Yeah, so this is like the end of week 1 of Nano. Hopefully we all come back on Monday with like, one, maybe like a result for the elections. That would be good. And
that would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be nice. And maybe some focus.
I did get 1,000 for this session. So
that's really good. That's good.
Yeah.
I got stopped right around like, when we started talking about manufacturing. So I think I'm at 664. And I'm about to sign off because I got to go get something done today.
Yeah, we've got someone here looking at our workshop right now. So that I got to go deal with that. She just got here. So, yeah.
So thanks for joining us, you guys.
Contractors out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So I think Mondays are next.
Yes, Monday is our next. And yes, the color of Rocketbooks is clearly more critical than the leader of the United States.
It's slightly more manageable.
Right.
Oh, right.
If only Rocketbook was a democracy.
Yeah, right. Then Oh no, we're not even going to go there. Okay.
No, we're not.
Yeah. So, anything else we should say, Chloe, before we sign off?
No. I actually still haven't gotten my internet hooked up fully yet. They did not do that yesterday. My line seems to be better, so I don't know if they gave me a new chunk of line. I have no idea what they were doing out there, but they did not actually hang our cable line. So I am still in a holding pattern for what I can schedule.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're definitely going to be here next Monday. But for our afternoon, our 4 to 6 Eastern show, our Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 8 a.m. show Eastern, this show where we're going to be at the mercy of Comcast and Sandy's availability.
And it should be available for this week, next week. Yeah. Yeah. Am I available on Tuesday of next week?
Did you see the great big calendar of sprints that we have now? If not, I'm going to give you, let's see who's running right now. We're probably going to have some audio happening in a second here, but I want to make sure that she's actually running. But there is more sprints going on right now. Yeah, it looks like she's already got a timer up and going anyways. So I'm going to post this. This is a stream that is currently going. There are other streams that are going right now, though. So we're going to go, but there's so much more writing to be done today.
All right. We'll see you guys next week.
Yes. Bye, everybody.
Bye.